Cheers everyone, welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Slice. Recorded on a Sunday afternoon, post Everton Villa game. Not a great performance, should have won 1-0. Dominic Calvert-Lewin let us down again, but do you know what I've really enjoyed about the game? It was feisty. Do you know what I mean? I like football fights. I'm not a violent person. I couldn't fight my way out of a paper bag. I'm not an aggressive person. Well, I could lose my temper really easy over the stupidest things, but I love a good feisty game of football. Anyway, disappointing, coming away with a point, but hey ho, it is what it is. So, I've not even uploaded the Pepperami video as of recording this because I missed getting it up in time. Been there before. Anyway, so today we're having a look at the Heinz baked beans and sausage pizza in Iceland. Relatively new, it has been out for a few weeks as of recording this video. I don't know if I did a video when they brought back the Heinz baked bean pizza, because I think I alluded to this in the Pepperami review. I don't remember this ever being a thing, and I'm in like my mid-30s, so I don't know if it was before then. I can't imagine it would have been, but I was a little bit disappointed with the baked beans pizza. But I do love low quality sausage with me beans, and there's something about the awful, I mean, I don't know what the meat content is on the sausages in baked beans and sausages, but there's just something satisfying about it. And I know I'm not going to go on because I'll sound like I'm doing a rerun of that Lee Mack joke from back in the day. But yeah, I do like sausage and beans. And it doesn't always have to be Heinz. That's something I might be interested in. Even though it's been done to death by actual food reviewers, comparing different brands of beans and stuff. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, pick this up from Iceland. So this is a wood-fired pizza base topped with tomato sauce, Heinz baked bean sauce, mozzarella cheese, Heinz baked beans, and sausage coins. And this is what it looks like. Hopefully I won't drop any toppings, of course, because the iPhone is an impressive piece of kit, but it can't, actually do focus on the fly properly. Anyway, it's just focused back to me, but it's exactly as you would expect it to look. I'd imagine there's a lot more beans buried by the cheese, but it's very sausage heavy. The jokes write themselves, folks. Doesn't look too bad at all, that, to be honest. So, hopefully, with that added Heinz sausage, it's a little bit more of a better eating experience. I mean, from what I remember, the beans pizza wasn't awful, but it just seemed like it was like, oh, I could easily make this myself. And this may well be a case of that. Was very impressed for what it was with that pepperami pizza. Need to stop doing stuff with the box, because I could imagine that's a little bit annoying and quite triggering for people. Anyway, so yeah, the last video I did was absolutely ridiculously long for no reason, so I'm just going to shut up, get this pizza in the oven. Oven's still not fixed, so I'm having to use the smaller top oven, but it cooked the pizza okay last time. So give me a sec and I will get this cooked. Takes between 15 to 18 minutes, fan 200, gas 7. So yeah, anyway, let's see what we get with this one. And as I stated in the last video, part of the 3 for £10 deal, which is actually a really good deal. Considering Iceland itself, going off on a tangent, is slowly becoming one of the more sort of expensive supermarkets. I mean, going off on a massive tangent now, But there was an advert for Ocado on the telly before, and they were like saying, we've price matched to Tesco, and even like Tesco club card prices. And I was like, I always had in my head, like Ocado was sort of like a middle upper class sort of supermarket for people with big money. But do you know what? All the supermarkets are stupidly expensive. So do you know what I mean? Even though I did get a Booths card recently, so Tory status ticked. Anyway, let's just get this pizza in the oven and see what it looks like. What it looks like. Oh, nearly lost a full pizza then. Doesn't look too bad, you know. And the first thing that hit me when I lifted it out of the oven, which I'm not happy with how the top oven on this cooks, especially stuff like pizza. But hey, that's a different story. We'll get that fixed eventually. Just can't be bothered. The first thing that hit me was, and as you would expect, it makes sense, it smells like cheesy beans on toast. So you're definitely, just on aromatics alone, getting the Heinz baked bean aroma, even though I would usually just use like a nice cheddar cheese as opposed to a mozzarella on a cheese toasty or cheesy beans on toast. But yeah, I'm actually quite excited for this. Healthy amount of toppings on there in terms of the sliced sausage. I think you could see a few more beans poking through that melted cheese now. Absolutely piping hot, so we'll probably burn the roof of my mouth off. But yeah, crust cooked quite nicely. Still a little bit, maybe a bit too crispy, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, it looks good. It's cooked okay. And let's just get into it. Dropped a bean on the floor. Yeah, I could end the review right now and say it tastes like Heinz beans and sausage on a pizza. Sausages themselves have actually cooked really nicely. You don't really get much flavour from them anyway, so they're not like full to the brim of flavour, but there's a nice texture to them. You're definitely tasting the sauce from the beans themselves, which I think was one of my biggest critiques about just the baked bean pizza was you didn't really get the Heinz aspect to it, where that's pretty much all you're tasting. Very subtle, fit for purpose mozzarella cheese, tomato base. You're not really getting too much flavour in that. It's all about the Heinz beans and sausage. And it works quite well on a pizza. Not like a mind-blowing combination. But it works. It really, really does. Now, my only point of reference with this review that I'm going to use is comparing it to the pepperoni one, because they were the two new pizzas that came out. This is definitely more about the gimmick itself. It works, but it's more about the gimmick itself. I wouldn't rush out to get this again, but if it turned up in an Iceland order, I'd be happy to eat it again. I mean, there's a completely vast difference in how it's cooked on the actual box compared to the what it looks like here. The cheese is browned, probably a bit too much for some people, but for me that's absolutely fine. And yeah, who knew those tasty yet rubber crappy sausages in Heinz beans and sausage would work well sliced on a pizza topping. Crust, it's what you expect with these pizzas. I've not looked too much into it. In fact, I've not looked into it at all. So it's probably the same base. They use the same cheese, the same standard tomato base recipe that they've got. And then when they bring out new pizzas like this, it's where the toppings come into play. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it works quite well. They can, of course, extend this range because they brought out fairly recently, well, tail end of last year, like the curry inspired variants of Heinz baked beans. I've not tried any of them yet, but they're easy to do anyway. If you've got, you know, your spices, I'm pointing to my little cupboard we've got there where we have all our spices and stuff. You can easily do that with beans. Do you know what I mean? If you've got like leftover curry sauce or like tikka sauce or whatever, you can mix it in with your beans. Do you know what I mean? But it'll get people buying it. People will go to buy this. I'm not sure how successful this has been. I'd imagine this is one of those examples of where big initial buzz because people want to get it on the socials. They want to get it on Instagram, TikTok. Less so YouTube. I'd say that's probably the platform that doesn't really get the traffic compared to like compact content you'd find on Instagram and TikTok. But would this warrant repeat buys? Maybe. If you like your baked beans and sausage, then you're probably going to get it again. Like I said, it's basically the pizza version of cheesy beans on toast. And what I will say is, off memory, much, much better than just the Heinz beans pizza that Iceland put out a little while ago. Can't compare to what it was like when they first brought it out, because I remember there was a big buzz, they're bringing it back. But yeah, perfectly serviceable. It's not going to blow you away, but you'll have had much worse pizzas. And going to enjoy the rest of that. Got myself a little concoction, very simple, of meatlust barbecue sauce and Cholula chipotle. A little bit of a mix. I think that'll work very well with the tomato and the beans and the sausage. In fact, we might as well give it a dip. Could have put more in this little container. I love when things come in resealable, like Tupperware, no matter how big or small, because I'll wash it out, I'll keep it, and I can use it. So there we go. Oh yeah, that works quite nicely actually. Anyway, I'm going to stuff my face, watch the Tottenham Man U game, and start actually getting these videos uploaded, because we're approaching, you know, the third week of January and there's been no content up, but it is what it is. So yeah, gimmicky, it works, not amazing. Would have again, wouldn't rush out to buy it. But I definitely think with your own little tweaks, you could make your own. You really, really could. That was a loud bite, I do apologise. I'm just like a little bit impressed that the sliced sausage works. Anyway, if you've tried this, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. if you've tried the pepperoni pizza that came out fairly recently, well, at the same time, let me know. That was last review, unless I mess up the uploading, which could happen. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and good showing, Iceland. And especially in the 3 for £10, I think it works really, really well. Bit of fun, but fundamentally not a bad pizza. Anyway, cheers for watching. You all take care, stay safe, and you never know, next time I might have washed my hair. Cheers, bye.